Yo, pause everything you're doing right now, because what I'm about to share with you in the next few minutes is something that most men will go their entire lives never understanding. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. This single piece of knowledge has the power to completely transform the way you experience intimacy, the way women emotionally respond to you, and the depth of connection you're able to create. Most guys, and I mean most guys, think that the moment of release is just that. A moment, a physical event, something that happens and then it's done. Over. They roll over, check their phone, fall asleep, move on. And that right there is the mistake. That is the mistake. Because, bro, that moment isn't an ending. That moment is a door. And on the other side of that door is a whole psychological and emotional universe that most men don't even know exists. Welcome to Her Mind Decoded, the channel dedicated to pulling back the curtain on the real emotional truths behind intimacy, psychology, and human connection. I'm Laurin Ponce, and today we are going deep. We're talking about what a woman genuinely feels, not just physically, but emotionally, neurologically, and at the most primal level of her subconscious when a man releases. And more importantly, why that impact doesn't disappear when the moment ends, why it stays, why it echoes, why it shapes how she thinks, feels, and connects with you for hours, sometimes days afterward. This is real, this is science, and this is something you absolutely need to understand. Let's get into it. And real quick, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell right now, because we drop content like this consistently, and you do not want to be the last one to know. Let's go. All right, first things first. Let's kill the biggest myth that men carry into intimacy. The myth that what happens in that moment is purely physical, that it's just biology, just mechanics, just a body doing what bodies do. That thinking is costing you more than you realize. Because here's what's actually happening on her side, on the emotional and psychological side, that nobody talks about. The moment of release sends a signal, not a spoken one, not a conscious one, a primal one. Deep in her nervous system, deep in her subconscious, something registers that cannot be faked, cannot be manufactured, and cannot be ignored. At the most evolutionary instinctual level, that signal communicates trust, vulnerability, full acceptance. It tells her subconscious, without a single word being spoken, you are safe here. You are wanted. You are enough. And I need you to understand how massive that is for a woman's emotional world, because safety and being desired are two of the most fundamental emotional needs a woman carries. When both of those needs get met simultaneously, in one of the most vulnerable moments two people can share, something happens in her mind that goes way beyond the physical. It creates an emotional imprint, a psychological stamp on that moment that her brain holds on to, revisits, and responds to long after y'all have moved on with your day. That's not her being emotional. That's her being human. That's biology doing exactly what it's designed to do. Now, I want to bring in the science here because this is where things get genuinely fascinating. And I think once you understand the chemistry, you'll never look at these moments the same way again. When a release occurs, her brain doesn't just experience one chemical reaction. It experiences a cascade, a full neurochemical event, oxytocin. You've probably heard it called the bonding hormone, surges. And this isn't a little spike, this is a flood. Oxytocin is the same chemical that fires when a mother holds her newborn baby for the first time. When a person hugs someone they deeply love, it's the chemical of attachment, of trust, of emotional closeness, and it's flooding her system right now, in this moment, because of what just happened. At the same time, dopamine, the brain's reward and pleasure chemical, is surging alongside it. Dopamine is what creates craving. It's what makes your brain go more of that. It reinforces the experience as something deeply meaningful, deeply pleasurable, deeply worth returning to. These two chemicals, oxytocin and dopamine, don't just fire and disappear. They stay elevated. They continue to shape her emotional state, her perception of you, and her sense of connection for a significant period of time after the moment has passed. And here's the part that's really going to blow your mind. These chemicals don't just respond to the big obvious stuff. They respond to the subtle stuff, the microsignals, your breathing pattern, the steadiness of your presence, the warmth of your energy. Whether you lean in or pull away, whether your eyes are soft or distant. Her brain is picking up all of that, processing it at a subconscious level, and using it to shape the emotional meaning of the entire experience. That's how powerful this moment is. That's how much is actually happening beneath the surface. And hey, right here, right now, if you're watching this and your mind is already working, already making connections, already thinking about moments in your own life through this new lens, that's exactly who this channel is for. You're a thinker. You care about depth and real connection. So go ahead, subscribe right now, drop a like on this video, and let's keep building together because we are just getting warmed up. And what's coming next is even more important than what we've already covered. Don't tap out now. Okay, so we've established what's happening chemically and psychologically during the moment. But now I want to talk about something that I genuinely believe is one of the most underrated, most overlooked, most misunderstood aspects of male-female intimacy, and that is the non-verbal language of that moment. See, most men think communication is about words. What you say before, what you say after. But bro, in the space of intimacy, words are almost irrelevant. What communicates everything, what actually moves her emotionally, is everything you're not saying. It's your posture, it's your eye contact, it's the rhythm of your movement, it's micro expressions, tiny, barely perceptible shifts in your face that she reads faster than any sentence you could construct. It's the tension or relaxation in your body. It's the energy you carry in the room. Her brain is processing all of this in real time, assembling a picture of who you are, how safe she is, how seen she feels, how much she matters to you. And it's doing all of this without her even being aware of it. This is subconscious communication at its most powerful. And what gets communicated in those nonverbal signals becomes the emotional backdrop of the entire experience. It shapes whether the moment feels transactional or transformational, whether it leaves her feeling empty or filled up emotionally, whether the oxytocin and dopamine get locked to positive feelings about you and the connection, or whether they get clouded by a subtle sense that something was off, something was missing, something wasn't quite right. The nonverbal language you speak in intimacy is one of the most important things you can develop as a man, and most men have never even thought about it. Now let's talk about masculine presence, because this is the piece that ties everything together, and I want to be crystal clear about what I mean when I say it. I'm not talking about dominance in an aggressive or controlling sense. I'm not talking about ego or performance. I'm talking about something much deeper, much quieter, much more powerful. True masculine presence is the ability to be fully there, fully inhabiting the moment, not in your head, not thinking about what's next, not distracted by anything outside that space, just present, grounded, calm, certain. When a man carries that kind of presence into intimacy, it does something to a woman that is almost impossible to fully articulate. At a primal, evolutionary level, her nervous system registers it as safety. Her subconscious interprets it as strength. Not physical strength, but emotional and energetic strength. The kind of strength that says, I am not going anywhere, I am fully here for you. You can let go completely. And when a woman feels that, when her nervous system gets that signal, the level of emotional and physical openness she can access is on a completely different level. The connection deepens, the experience intensifies, the emotional imprint becomes more powerful. And most importantly, she doesn't just feel it during the moment, she carries it with her. That feeling of being fully met by a man who was truly, completely present, that stays. That's what she thinks about. That's what she comes back to. That's what makes you unforgettable. And this is the part I really need you to lock in, because this is where most men drop the ball completely, even the ones who do everything else right. The aftermath, the minutes that follow. What happens after the release, what you do, how you show up, what energy you carry in those quiet, vulnerable moments is just as important, maybe more important than everything that came before. Here's why. After a release, her oxytocin is still peaked. Her emotional walls are at their lowest. Her subconscious is in a hyper-receptive state, wide open, scanning everything, reading every signal you put out with extraordinary sensitivity. And whatever she picks up in those moments gets layered directly onto that emotional imprint we talked about at the beginning. If you pull away physically or energetically. If you go cold, if you check your phone, if you disconnect, that gets recorded and it chips away at everything the moment built. But if you stay, if you breathe, if you maintain that calm, warm, grounded presence, if you make eye contact, if you offer a gentle touch, if you just hold space without needing to fill it with words or noise, that communicates something that no date, no gift, no grand romantic gesture can replicate. It says, I'm not just here for the physical, I'm here for you. And that message, received in that moment when her emotional receptivity is at its highest, that is what builds the kind of bond that lasts. That is what creates the kind of attraction that doesn't fade with time. It deepens. That is what separates a man who she'll remember from a man she'll never quite be able to forget. Let me bring this all the way home now because I want you to walk away from this video with something real, something you can actually carry with you. Here's the truth, stripped down to its core. What happens in that moment of release is never just physical. It is emotional, it is psychological, it is neurochemical, it is primal, and it communicates in a language that goes far deeper than words. Things about trust, about value, about desire, about safety, and about connection that will shape her emotional experience of you and of the relationship long after the moment itself has passed. The energy you bring, your presence, your awareness, your attentiveness, your calm, before, during, and especially after, either amplifies all of that or it undermines it. That's the truth. That's the responsibility. And here's the thing. Understanding this isn't about manipulation. It isn't about strategy or technique or gaming the system. It's about awareness. It's about respect. It's about recognizing that intimacy is not just a physical event. It's one of the most emotionally significant experiences two human beings can share. And when you show up to it fully, when you bring your complete present, conscious self to it, you don't just create a better experience, you create a deeper connection, a more magnetic attraction, a bond that grows stronger rather than fading over time. And that is something worth understanding. That is something worth working toward. That is what Her Mind Decoded is all about. If this video hit you differently, if it made something click, if it gave you a new lens, if it made you think about moments in your own life in a way you never have before, I want to hear from you. Drop the word presence in the comments right now. That one word tells me this resonated with you, and I personally read every single one. Like this video if it brought you value. It genuinely helps this channel grow and reach more people who need to hear this. Share it with a friend who's ready for this level of conversation. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you're always the first to know when we drop. I am so grateful you spent this time with me today. Stay present, stay aware, stay locked in. I'll catch you in the next one. Laurin Ponce, Her Mind Decoded.